class, today we move to chapter 3, risk and return. In previous chapter, we usually encounter with discount rate, with yield, with return that we use in our calculation of present value and future value. Yeah, but so far we take them as given. Yeah, but in this chapter, we're going to learn the origin of this discount rate, yeah, and how to measure this kind of risk. Okay. In other words, in finance, risk is the center of finance. So, in order to tell you how important to understand about the risk, yeah, the origin of risk, and how to measure risk in finance, yeah. Okay, so this is expected learning outcomes. Please take a look. This is like your own checklist. So please make sure that until you finish chapter 3, you are able to accomplish, all the list here. Okay. Okay, this is what we're going to study in this chapter. Okay, first of all, we're gonna learn how to measure the returns in absolute value and in percentage value. It's quite easy, yeah. And then later we are going to learn how to measure the average returns and the risk of a financial asset, yeah. And then in the later part of this chapter, we're going to learn how to measure risk from the perspective of portfolio, yeah, portfolio theory. Okay, the dollar return or the return in absolute value, huh? So you see, it's quite simple. If you, for example, if you buy a bond for 1,000, and you have to receive 2 coupons of 30 each, and you can sell it for $1,025 today, and the total dollar return it comes from two sources, right? One is from the coupon you receive, and the other comes from the capital gain or loss. That is, you sell when you sell the bond. Yeah. So we call the dividend or the coupon we receive from that bond is the income. And the price, the difference in the price you bought and the price you sell the bond is capital gain or loss. Yeah. So the sum of two sources of income, we call it's total dollar return. It doesn't have to be dollar. It's just the way we talk about the return in absolute value. Okay. Okay, percentage return is more popular. Yeah, when we talk about an investment, we usually do not mention how much you earn from that investment, but in absolute value. But we usually talk about the percentage. Yeah. So the percent and again an asset. If you hold an asset, yeah, and it gives you usually to soar. Okay, financial assets, huh? Financial assets. For example, bond or stock. Yeah, the income comes from two sources. One we call that is the dividend, yeah, or the coupon, yeah. The other what we call it income, yeah. And the other source is the difference between the price you sell and the price you bought. Yeah, we call this one is the capital gain or loss. Capital gain or loss. Yeah? Yeah. So this is two sources of income. You get it from a financial asset. Yeah? Okay, so by doing so, we calculate the percentage return also come from two sources like this. Yeah? So we have the dividend yield and we have the capital gain yield. Yeah, the yield, lợi suất các bạn, đến từ dividend and đến từ cái gì các bạn? Từ capital. Yeah? So this is total percentage return. Yeah, in other words, I can write down like this. It equal to, okay, we take the dividend, yeah, the dividend. For example, with dividend in the period, we invest in that financial assets. Yeah, the dividend plus the capital gain or loss and divided for what you have paid, and that is the P0. Okay, that is the total percentage return. Okay, it very much look like the formula to estimate the holding period return of stock, right? So please take a look in chapter 2 when we do stock valuation. This one look like, the valuation of the stock for one period. Okay, please take a look at one example and do it yourself and then compare the result with this result. Yeah? Okay, but then here, you see, in this example, you bought the stock for $35 and you received dividend for 1.25 and the stock is now selling for 40. So the dollar return, what is? There are the two sources of income, right? One is from dividend, 1.25, and one from the capital gain or loss. So we take $40, subtract for what you have paid, yeah? So the two sources of income, yeah? And then we calculate the percentage return, yeah? And the total percentage return of this stock is 17.86%, yeah? But please notice that in this example, it doesn't talk about the period or the time. Yeah, we don't know when we bought. We don't have information when did we buy the stock and when do we sell the stock. So we would like to know, yeah. So on average, how much do we earn per year? Yeah, because we usually talk about the return per year in order to compare with other kind of investment. How much do I earn, on annually, on yearly basis? Yeah. Okay, take a look at this example. Do you see this figure? This figure illustrates the growth of $1 investment, yeah, in different type of portfolio over the period of 1925 to 2013. Yeah, so it's about 80 years. 80 years, yeah. Okay, so from $1 investment in 1925 and in 2013, it had become, it had grown, right? And grow to what? And look at this figure. Okay, you see, from $1, if you invest in treasury bill, it grow to $20.58. Yeah, and if we invest $1 to long-term government bond, the blue line, yeah, and by the end of 2013, we get $109.14 and blah blah. And you see, from $1, if we invest in small company stock, about 80 years later, it grows to $26,641.17. Such an amazing number, right? Yeah, it's the highest among this kind of asset. The highest. Yeah? Okay, so the point is, okay, we see that number is large, but we wonder, so on average, how much we earn per year? How much we earn per year, right? Okay, look at the next figure. Yeah, figure A on your left hand side. Yeah, so this figure illustrates year by year total returns on small company stock, and the horizontal axis, is the time, and the vertical axis is total annual return in percent. Yeah, like 5%, 10%. Yeah, that is yearly return. Yeah, so every year we calculate the return of the investment in small company stock. Yeah, and we draw a bar, this bar for every year. We take one bar, we draw one bar. Okay, And the same with figure B here. We do it for long-term government bond. For every year, we measure the return of each year, and then, we draw one bar in the figure. Okay? And then if we want to know the average return, what can we do? We take average, right? Yeah, so I take the average. What do I do? So if I call the return of each year is RT. This one also RT. T is the year, huh? It's also RT. Depend on the year, yeah? Blah, blah, blah. So every year we have one R, one RT, right? So we take all the RT. For example, R of 1000 of 1926 plus R of 1927 plus blah, 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 and plus the R, the return of 2013, yeah? And we divide it for the number of year, and it's the number of year between 1926 and 2013. And this we get the average return per year. Yeah, and we call this approach is arithmetic return. Arithmetic mean return. Xuất sinh lời bình quân số học. Okay, this is the formula. So we take all the RT and we divide it by T. This is the number of periods, number of years. Yeah? And apart from arithmetic mean return, we also have geometric mean return. Yeah? So take a look at the formula.